Hello YouTube, it is Wednesday, August 21st, and I'm bringing you another video of shenanigans and mayhem. Let's get started with this Jussie Smollett mess that has reprised itself, and I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what's going on and the claims that he's making. Oh mercy, it's just, it never stops. Okay, here we go. Judge to rule on tossing lawsuit against Jussie Smollett in October. This was updated yesterday at 1:04 p.m. Chicago police released 70 hours of footage, including Smollett with rope around his neck. They have a video that they've released, information pertaining to that night in question that they went to his apartment with the alleged noose around his neck. It says Chicago police released hours of footage related to the Jussie Smollett case. In one video, Smollett is seen with rope around his neck. A federal judge hearing the city of Chicago's lawsuit against Jussie Smollett says she'll rule on the actor's request to toss the suit in October. The 10-minute status hearing Tuesday was the first since the civil case was moved to federal court from state court. The former Empire actor didn't attend the hearing in Chicago. What Jussie Smollett's case reveals about the law on hate crimes. Empire actor Jussie Smollett, who was accused of staging a hate crime attack, was dropped of all charges by prosecutors. How does the FBI define a hate crime attack? We explain. The city accuses Smollett of staging a racist and anti-gay attack against himself in January. It sued to force Smollett to pay $130,000 in police overtime and other expenses after state prosecutors dropped charges accusing him of filing a false report. The defense motion to dismiss earlier this month calls the bid to recoup costs a perverse tactic since charges were dismissed. They maintain the attack was real. The next status hearing is October 22nd of this year. Okay, here we go. Jussie Smollett. Haven't you done enough damage with staging this attack? Hiring two people to pretend that they assaulted you, call the police, enact whatever happened. The police follow suits. Later, you're getting all this flack that something didn't seem right. The state does dismiss the charges or whatever the case. And why they did that, I don't know. I mean, to this day, I've been sitting here trying to figure out why would Chicago, dismiss this case? Because he seemed like he was lying. A lot of people believe he was lying. Then, of course, you got those who rallying behind him because they liked him, woo. But a lot of things didn't add up. And when they started investigating and doing, phone logs and video logs from areas and around the vicinity of his apartment building and watching footage, then they showed a video yesterday I saw that showed the brothers in I think Walgreens purchasing items, which one can say, well, it's cold up there. You need face masks and gloves and blah, blah, blah. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Chicago's a hell of a city. I know. I was raised in Chicago. I mean, I grew up there. So I know. Chicago is, yes, a hellified city in the winter. You do need face masks and heavy gloves. But it's just odd that this video surfaces and they're showing the brothers in the store purchasing these items. But the one thing they didn't have were those MAGA hats that they keep claiming the suspects wore that night. So what happened to those hats? What happened to those hats? They even went to a store and interviewed a guy who said the brothers came into this store asking did they sell those hats. And the gentleman told them, no, we don't carry anything like that. Okay, come on now. You in the hood or in, urban neighborhood asking for those type of hats. The famous Trump quote hats. You know damn well they ain't had those hats. So, everything leads one to believe with some sense that all this was staged. And so now I just think it's sad that the state drops the case. And yet you are perturbed that the city of Chicago wants their money back for trying to find these alleged people who assaulted you. And they still believe, obviously, that it was a hoax because, you can weigh it any kind of way you want. But one tells the story. A, the state's attorney dropped the case. B, the city of Chicago Police Department wants $130,000 for ensuing and looking for these people. And it never came into fruition, so there you have it. So one has to ask herself, if A drops the case, B wants some money, there's your answer. Somebody don't believe that you was assaulted, so they want their money back. And then you got the nerve to say, well, I want it to go to federal court. I want a federal judge to make a decision. I want a federal judge to rule against me having to pay this money. Are you serious? You're that brazen? Hey, how about this, brother? You ain't locked up. You ain't in jail. You ain't facing jail time. Why don't you be grateful that you are not facing jail time? How about that? How about you be humble for once in your life that this great city does not want to throw your black tail in jail? Because see, what you should be focusing on is trying to do right. Because you came up with this cockamamie story for some crazy unknown reason. To this day, I don't know why. Some speculate you wanted more money from Empire. So what? You came up with this crazy story that you got assaulted. And this is supposed to make the producers and the directors or whoever come to a conclusion, hey, we need to pay this guy more money. They jumped him. They did this. It don't work like that. You see, you messed your own self up by concocting this mess. And hey, them boys were thirsty. They needed the money. I ain't saying it was right. They went along with it. But see, they could have got themselves tangled up worse as well. Ruining your own reputation for something crazy just to get, a couple $1,000s. I mean, really, it's insane. Jussie Smollett, do yourself a favor, young man. Go get on your hands and knees and give God thanks that you're not going to be facing any jail time. Go on and pay Chicago, pay the police department the $130,000. Tuck your little tail between your legs and keep on pushing. And how about this, baby? Go get yourself a job. Go do what you do best, which is stand on stage and perform and make up stuff. Because we see you do that very well. And you need to stick to your day job. Because running through the city at night pretending to get beat up, that ain't working for you. Okay? It ain't working for you at all. Let's keep it 100. Stick to your day job. And I'll tell you another thing. You messed yourself up as far as being an actor and being hired, because who's going to want to hire you knowing you will fabricate a story when you don't get your way? You need to grow up. You too old to be lying and making up heinous stuff like that and tarnishing that great city. They got enough trouble and crime, and the police already got a crazy job of chasing fugitives and gangbangers around. They don't got time for that. Run around chasing imaginary people. Because they got real people who are getting shot up every day. Kids getting shot up. Mothers and fathers getting shot up. People can't even walk the kids to school without getting caught in a crossfire. Can't ride the damn L train without worrying about getting robbed or chased. Those people got real damn problems up there. And you did a disservice to yourself, that city, the people you work for, and the nice people of that city who work hard to live in that city. And they live there, yes, by choice. But what you pulled was foul. And you owe Chicago that money, and you owe them an apology. Till the next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.